What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua said in a recent interview, he was asked on who was the hardest punchers that he ever been in the ring with. And the funny thing about it was not Andy Ruiz. In fact, this is what he had to say about Andy Ruiz. He said, Andy Ruiz doesn't really punch hard. The punch that caught me was behind the head. Okay, it was an illegal punch. Now, that punch was the reason, that illegal punch, mind you, was the reason he was concussed. Okay, and that's why the knockout occurred, because he never recovered from that illegal punch. Now, you know, it's funny. In my live streams that we talked about this briefly about the illegal punch, I really didn't want to go into it, simply because I didn't want to make excuses for Anthony Joshua. Because if he didn't make excuses, that means why should I? Okay? Now, excuses and reasons are different to me. Anyone, for me, an excuse is for the loser. A reason is for the winner, right? That's legitimate. That was the actual reasoning behind something. An excuse is something you make up because you lost. Okay. What I'm seeing with Anthony Joshua is he's trying to cover up for the truth. He tells half-truths, I realize. And let me explain. Anthony Joshua said, I was concussed because of that illegal punch. Look, I don't think he was concussed in that fight, right? I don't think he got concussed in that fight. I think he was already concussed when he took his ass in the ring. See, a lot of times you can try to make something up to hide what the truth lies. And where the truth lies is, I was hurt before I went in there. I shouldn't have been in there, but I had so much riding on me. This is my first time out. And I underestimated Andy Ruiz anyway, because I thought, okay, I'm going to take him out. I knocked him down in the third round, so I went to town and ended up fucking up. Right? That's exactly what happened. Now, the illegal punch was not from the left hook that hit him in the temple. That was legal, 100%. But there is a debate about a punch. And I remember my nephew saying that. You know, his name is actually Joshua, right? And he was like, you know what? That punch he was hit with when he was dropped in the seventh, the second series of knockdowns that occurred to him was this punch that Andy Ruiz threw. It was a counter over the jab, okay? And when he countered over that jab, he timed him and he hit him. He hit him right here, okay? Now, it's debatable that that was a legal punch or not, okay? I've looked at it several times because Ruiz did it so fast, it's kind of hard to catch where it landed, but it landed here, okay? This area. So it's a borderline. And then that leads to another question. What's the borderline to a behind the head punch? You see what I'm saying? Because technically all this here is this behind the head here, right? Because he hit him with the glove and he went over, and that's what Joshua claims concussed him, right? It's debatable. It's like the below the belt, okay? The ref looks at it, okay, you know, anything below the navel is good. You know, anything below the navel is bad. Everything above the navel is good, right? Dyslexia kicking in. But anyway, it's a borderline on what's illegal and what's legal to land a punch. So that's the question. I seen that punch, and that's the first thing I thought of. And honestly, I thought of Wilder and Ortiz. And you know how my feelings is about that fight and with the punches that landed. And the funny thing about this is, in my fight study, I told people, I said, you know, the way Ruiz loops his shots, that could happen. Go back and watch my fight study on that fight. The first fight, right? I told you that the way Andy Ruiz loops his shots can be dangerous for Anthony Joshua. and it turned out to be right, unfortunately for him, right? So, Anthony Joshua was saying that he hit him illegally. Now, that could be true, but let me counterpunch this. First off, I can see why Anthony Joshua was making that excuse up, because I think he was hurt before he got in there. I think those rumors are true. I think that he wasn't the same. That's why they were massaging his neck. He didn't feel good. He said that in his last interview. He said that, you know what? I wasn't feeling well. They were massaging my neck. Why? Those are all signs of concussion. So you can't blame it on Andy Ruiz. That's why he doesn't want to give Andy Ruiz credit. Okay? He'll rather throw that excuse in. No, he hit me with a legal shot. He might have hit you with a legal shot, but that fucking left hook he hit you with wasn't illegal, right? And it shouldn't have done that damage to you. Again, that's why Anthony Joshua doesn't want to give Andy Ruiz credit. So let me tell you something. If this fight turns out to be one of those fights where it's like Hasim Rahman and Lewis 2, right? Don't be surprised. He's not giving Andy Ruiz credit for his punching power. He's saying it's illegal. No. See, he's saying it's illegal, therefore I got a concussion from that illegal punch. No, that's not what happened. You were concussed when you took your ass in the ring, and therefore when Andy hit you, it just added insult to injury. Then you blamed it on Andy that he gave you a concussion. Really, it was the Waco or whoever your other sparring partner was. That's why that was such a bigger buzz back then, because we had to wonder, and everybody, the guys that liked Joshua, the guys that even hated Joshua, they were trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with Anthony Joshua and who the hell was in that ring that night. I'm going to tell you who that was. That was a guy that was concussed, that was damaged goods before he went in the ring. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's statements. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.